Bringing it tonight, goddamn. Told you I came ready.
What's going on? DBrklyn, Beyond The Reverb. We got a special segment, not your orthodox segment or episode. I got my man Anon with me. We'll get to the guests in a little bit. We have a special topic with bridging the generational gap within hip hop.
This has been going on for a little while where people have been talking back and forth about how the youth is, how the hip hop industry, you're getting too old, so you got to step down and let the young people come through. I just even heard something from Timberland the other day where he was talking about you got to listen to the youth about 11 years old for production. And that way you can tune your ear in and allow for more creativity, new sounds to come in. So you're not just bottlenecking yourself into what you're used to. You got to be innovative in that aspect. So today we got a really special guest, somebody I've known for a little while, been around for a little bit. Some people may know him, some people may not know him. I can definitely tell you he's a very special person. I'd like to introduce y'all to Reggie.
What's going on, guys?
How's it going, Reggie?
Hey, man, it's going great. First and foremost, man, I just want to say thank you. I'm a big fan. You know, I've been watching you guys on the YouTube, and I love what you guys are doing. And it's my pleasure and honor to be on this show, Beyond The Reverb. Amazing name, amazing host. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it. It's an honor for us to have you.
Yeah, Reggie's a really special guy. You know, definitely an honor because you have such wisdom and experience.
For those of you that don't know who Reggie is, he's been in the industry for over 20 years. He's worked for Hot 97, Sirius XM, and now with Taste Radio, an internet radio station, doing great things in Hawaii, bringing the beach to the streets, so to speak. Still rhyming.
Well, you know, this whole Dash Radio, Taste Radio thing came about in the pandemic, and there's an opportunity that was brought to my attention with the closeout of grad school. You know, me, my partner Kelly Jackson, and dear advisor Glendon Brown, we all came together pre-pandemic for a collective called Culture and Entertainment. You know, because I actually wasn't thinking about radio per se, but just graduating over. And then the Dash situation came to my attention, and you know, those two other people actually believed in the concept that Leonard Brooks brought to my attention and the opportunity. And we've taken the opportunity from 0 to over 130 daily listeners on our platform Taste, which is on the Dash Radio app. And we've actually peaked at 200,000 listeners by God's grace. And now we're just looking to take it to another level. And Pacific Push, which is hosted by OG Money, is a cornerstone of what we're trying to do. And you know, it was just a collective of people, you know, seeing an opportunity and taking advantage of it. And it's based in hip hop and R&B because my tenure at Sirius was just confined to hip hop with a little channel called Hip Hop Nation and another channel that I helped I was the architect of was Eminem Shade 45. But you know, my life has just been a series of exploiting opportunities, and I thank God for those opportunities, you know. And lastly, you know, Anon here has been a great supporter of our platform, you know, via his technical expertise. You know, this guy is very, very, very knowledgeable about systems and those type of things. So, you know, he's basically a part of our team as well. And that's how all this came about. That's how I got to know you guys.
No, I feel you. I feel you. I love the energy with Pacific Push got to give, especially with the way OG with his Professor Finesser.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I told him all of that.
It's so told him how to ride a bike and everything. Look at that. But no, the finessing part is key to is knowledge that a lot of the young folks need, and I think it's part of essential in survival and growing as people.
Yeah, it's very interesting that you brought up. You know, I joke, but pretty much in lieu of the topic of tonight, OG Money and that Professor Finesser, Finessing 101 is actually a component of bridging the gap. You know, instead of saying, because bridging the gap starts with verbiage. You know, and that's the thing. We wanted to impart knowledge, quote unquote, without sounding dated.
Right.
So with him using today's lingo, you know, instead of saying you got, he's saying you got finesse. Right. You know, and those type of things. So pretty much that's how we're bridging the gap. One of the segments on this show is called King Stuff. Right. You know, and you know, we're working on that segment, but it's pretty much a person who's elder or who has knowledge, and we shouldn't run from age.
Right.
To say, you know what, this is how, you know, young men and young women are supposed to or women and men in general should conduct themselves. So those are the ways, you know, the programming that we do on Taste is quote unquote bridging the gap, because we don't want to be an ageist or genre specific channel. You know what I'm saying?
No, that definitely makes 100% sense. Because I know I'm surrounded by tons of young people. They always looking at me like I'm old, and I'm looking at them like I ain't that old. And here in Hawaii is really unique because they call everybody that's older than them uncle.
Okay, yeah, I heard about that. Like that's a symbol of honor, right?
Yeah, 100%. Mm-hmm. But you know, if you're not from this culture, it can be like, wait, hold on, bro, I'm only 10 years older than you.
Yeah. I think that Mary J. Blige and some other people were taken aback by people calling them auntie, uncle this one and uncle that one, when they're only a few years older than them. But you know, ageism is probably one of the things that have contributed to the lack of expansion of hip hop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that doesn't happen in other genres. Correct. You know, John Mayer would be honored to be in a jam session with the Rolling Stones.
Right.
So why doesn't you know, let's say one of the New York rappers from Brooklyn, you know, be honored of having Big Daddy Kane on a record? You know, so we're an ageist genre, which breaks the bridge of bridging the gap.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Hey, what's up there, people? This is Anon from Beyond The Reverb. So I just want to give you just a quick message about who we are. We're trying to build this platform to allow everybody worldwide to have an opportunity to see different perspectives, learn, educate. We were going to even bring up experts to talk to you about different topics and subjects. We're going to cover such a vast variety of things. It's going to blow your mind. We are brought together by music, and we believe music is that one thing in this world that can combine, heal, and save us all from our own selves. We're not here to solve world problems. We're here to bring them to the front, talk about them, discuss them, and to give a perspective. We see both sides, and we know that there's things in life that just are not fair, and it's okay. We're here to discuss those things, bring them to the front, and talk about the things that others are not willing to talk about. We have no political agendas. We have no religious backgrounds that we're going to push down your throat. We have no direction other than love, education, and giving you a voice to speak and be who you are. We're for everybody. We're about everybody. And we're going to bring to the table everybody to give them an opportunity to express themselves. This is Anon, and we're out.
Things I see in Bridging the Gap is through Timberland and Swiss Beats and what they got going on in Versus and Triller. You know, that's one of the easiest ways to get the young folks on. And when I watch, I'm getting beside myself right now. Mm-hmm. When I watched KRS-One and Big Daddy Kane, that was a class. That wasn't a show. That was a class. It was a show to me, but it was more teaching the knowledge of what they had. Every single thing they had Crazy Legs out there. The original B-boys. They had I forget the dude's name, but the original Pop Lock out there. Mm-hmm. It was crazy. The one thing I don't understand is why the new generation, why they don't build each other up. That's when I was coming up, you had people in the same age group, and they would build each other up. This is like KRS-One used to talk in his lectures. You want to build a community, you talk good about the people around you. I'm gonna build my brother up, Anon, on his artistry and his craft. He's gonna build me up in my artistry and my craft. And we do it for each other, and it works out. You don't see that in the new thing. Everything's this and that, and you see a lot of things going on. You see it on the news and people getting put out for the wrong reasons. A lot of violence for no reason.
Well, here's the thing, in my humble opinion, I was always taught that it's a man's responsibility, and give a damn what it is. It's on the man.
Right.
It's on the man of the house. It's on the father. You know, the mother and the children are governed by the father. And in hip hop, historically, the culture is reflective of society.
Right.
So if you have fatherless children, then you're gonna have a fatherless genre. You see, rock and roll respects its fathers.
Right.
The Jimi Hendrix, even Eddie Van Halen's, right. You know, the Slashes, all of those great guitars, all of those great bands, all of those great country music respects its fathers.
Right.
Waylon Jennings, Charlie Pratt, most of us want to smoke weed all the time. On the road again. Just can't wait to get home.
Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson. You understand? Even Latino cultures respect their fathers.
Yes.
So when you have the Latin Grammys or the country Grammys or any of those other genres, the fathers are welcome.
Right.
But in hip hop, if we have fatherless households, you have a fatherless genre. So now the babies feel like, you know what, Daddy, you wasn't there. Why should I listen to you? You understand what I'm saying? So now we have to get back as more of this generation is taking pride in being actual fathers to their children.
Right.
Like it's a whole new blossoming thing. You know, like my best friend he's happy to be a father.
Right.
And his kid spends time with his kid, makes breakfast for his son, you know, loves hanging out with his daughter. So now that should be reflective in the culture now. Now you should see a change and a shift. So just to get back to your point as it pertains to Swiss Beats and Timberland, well, now those responsible people are saying, you know what? Let's create an environment that respects our fathers. Whether I agree with the quality of a Drink Champs, in theory, Nori is saying, let's respect our fathers.
Right.
And now look at the terminology that this generation uses. Let's give them their flowers.
Right.
You understand?
Yes.
So, and that brings us back to our topic of what? Bridging the gap. So, D. Brooks, to your point, guess what? Now that this verses is hip, is chic, everybody watches. Guess what's in it? Guess what? It's imparting knowledge. The kids didn't give a damn about no KRS wanting Big Daddy Kane until they saw him on what? Verses. You feel me?
I definitely respect that myself because I watch a lot of Drink Champs, and I even saw the early days to the current days. And I love the point, we're not going to wait till you're dead.
Exactly.
And if you look at hip hop, there's a lot of concentration on that, where Biggie Smalls is great, but he's not here.
You did.
Tupac is great. He's not here.
You did.
Big L, not here.
Did.
I can just keep going on the list of young, dead artists.
And then when you die, guess what? You're the greatest of all time.
All time.
And he was a good man.
Yes.
He was a very good man.
Exactly.
I'll be laughing about that.
The perfect example was, guess what? You know, I'm happy before X passed, DMX passed, he did verses.
Yes.
By God's grace. He had a chance to see all of the love or feel it worldwide of how they, even though I've been at an X concert and X always got love, guess what? Before he died, the world, he got to feel the world in that versus situation.
Right.
Not just 30,000 at an arena or 50,000 or whatever. He got to see the world. Show him love. You know?
Yeah.
And that's how you bridge the gap. You know, but it starts with the parents. And honestly, this beautiful culture of hip hop that we have was actually birthed out of dysfunction. You know, it was birthed out of, you know, the fathers of the music saying, yo, what are you doing with my record? You cutting it, scratching it, slowing it down, using the sample, you know?
Yeah.
What are you doing with my record? As opposed to, hey, son, let me take a listen to that. So it was birthed out of dysfunction, you know? So now it's sort of like this whole idea of psychology and therapy and shit like that that we're appreciating now. It's like you got childhood traumas. The culture has traumas.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like your parents told you that's whack. Oh my God, it's horrible. Look what you're doing to those records, scratching them up like that. So now we can't in part say, you know what? That's trash. You guys are mumble rappers. You guys, oh my God, I hate what this is. No, don't do that. Because you know how I felt when people were talking about your Pee-wee dance. You know? Or when fucking Biz Markie was off key. You got what I need. You didn't like how that felt when your parents and musicians criticized your stuff. So why would you criticize these kids' stuff? Maybe you just need to understand a little bit. That's why I started smoking weed, to understand. That's why I'm going to try lean, to understand. You understand? You just got to understand where they're coming from because somebody understood you. What you want, huh? Dope or dog food? I thought that shit was the greatest shit in the world. Gotta appreciate these kids. Listen, I appreciate Future a little bit better.
Right.
You know, from that standpoint. And that's how you never get old.
Nah, I agree with you. Like DBrklyn, Styles P and Dave East. That was amazing. You got to admit that. Bridging the gap. Or even when J. Cole, he sat down with what, Lil Yachty, I think it was?
21 Savage. J. Cole is, if you love J. Cole will do a record with anybody. You know what I'm saying? He did records with 21 Savage and all of these guys. He like you say, Yachty. He doesn't say he has the tight ass as the people who love him to say, you know what? Oh my God, you did a song with this. or this song with that one.
Right.
You know, but you know what? I'm a musicologist. I remember I was a big Van Halen fan. Big 1984 was one of my favorite albums. The one with Jump and Panama and all them records. And then I remember when David Lee Roth left the group and he did a song called I'm Just a Gigolo. And everybody in the, oh my God, what are you doing? You got to give artists the latitude to move around, expand, you know, and play with different things. You know what I mean?
Right.
But we just so in our own time period, you know. And the thing is, we screw up. You want me to tell you one of the biggest words that screws up the bridging of the gap? Old school. Old school. That's a horrible word.
Yes, it is.
Horrible word. We should never call our culture anything old school. Legendary, classic. Verbiage matters. You old school. You can't be old school. We old school. We old school. Listen, this culture is built on brand new sneakers. Fresh gear. Look at the word death. Fresh. Dope.
Yeah.
And you call your heroes old school. Who gonna respect us? The gap, the bridge is burnt between them on that side of the bridge, you on that side of the bridge, and everybody pointing at each other.
Now, I feel you. A lot of artists have a lot of ways to bring the new folks in and pay homage to who's doing the thing, whether they have exposure or not. They're going to get it through that. Showing love to who's doing good things is a necessity. In my book, I think the people who come off of that need to be able to do that for the next man and within the same generation. And I think it'll be that much more impactful. I just want to see the youth work together in unison, actually bring together something special. Like what's next in the storybooks?
I can definitely agree with you on that because they say right now, Kendrick Lamar is the future. The problem is Kendrick Lamar is unique. Everybody else is doing something totally different, with the exception of probably J. Cole. And then you have Drake. And Drake, he like teeter-tottered that pop, hip-hop line. And so he's not still 100% accepted. But overall, I really, truly believe that in the end, the collaboration of genres, styles, and sounds is what's truly going to push the envelope because the youth are no longer in that mind state of competition. Like I even hear old heads, how dare you take food out my plate, food out my mouth. Where back in our days, that's what it was about. That's how you pushed your pen further. But nowadays, they don't look at it that way. They look at it that you're losing money when you're trying to cause competition. And so I think that bridging the gap has to go beyond the fact like Dave East raps like Styles P as far as he's lyrical. It needs to be a Styles P and a Lil Yachty. That's what's going to start to bridge that gap. Because when they get together in that collaboration, that's when they're going to be able to see what each other is doing and try to see how they can get synergy to push the envelope forward.
Yeah.
I remember my favorite rapper at the time was Rakim, right? And then it was like, you know what? Yo, you gotta hear this new guy that's been kind of like studying Rakim. His name is Nas. Then about 10 years later, maybe even 20 years later, you know, this guy came into my office, Jay-Z's prodigy, and his name was J. Cole. You can check the YouTube, Hip Hop Nation, J. Cole, and I garnered a relationship with this guy. He actually performed twice for me, and he made a song, a little known song. He said, "Let Nas Down." Nas didn't want to let Rakim down. J. Cole doesn't want to let Nas down. There's somebody else studying J. Cole right now, not gonna let J. Cole down. So The culture will be here forever. You understand? But the thing is, we can't just pick and choose the artists that remind us of our heroes. You can't just pick and choose those people. You know, like I'm really big on this person who I discovered. His name is IDK. Then one of the hosts on our platform introduced me to an artist called Pierre Bourne. But Pacific Push with OG Money is interviewing Havoc and Styles P. Pacific Push is interviewing RZA of the Wu-Tang Clan, as well as others. And the reason why Taste is such a beautiful, eclectic, boutique radio station is because the door is open. And we won't treat Styles P like, nah, go down the street to the old channel. You understand?
Yeah.
It's systematic segregation that makes that renders our legends disposable, and we can't do that. Which brings us back to the beauty of, you know, some of the beautiful current programming that we have that actually bridge the gap to take us where? Beyond the reverb.
I respect that, brother.
You can use that.
Reggie, I appreciate you coming out, supporting us. We support you. We me and Anon, we're always going to support Pacific Push. And those of you that don't know what Pacific Push is, I would recommend, I'm going to tell you, get that Dash Radio, get on Taste Radio, Pacific Push, Friday nights, Eastern Standard Time at midnight to 2, on Saturdays, 2 to 4. So if you're not tapped in, get tapped in.
Hey man, listen, I just want to thank you guys, but that'd be the last thing, you know, because I respect and appreciate great conversation. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I appreciate great intellectual conversation. And if anything, I would say, you know, invite some of those, you know, 20, 25-year-olds and those type of people on this show to kind of like entertain them and make them feel comfortable.
Right.
Like people made you guys feel comfortable when you came into the culture. You know that? Thank you.
Definitely respect that. Nah, definitely just plug in. We on Instagram, we on YouTube, we on Facebook. You can find Pacific Push the same way. Love the guys. All about what they're about. And I'm Anon.
I'm DBrklyn. Shout out to DJ Hollywood Polo, DJ for Pacific Push. We love you, and we out, 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 and we out.